Hey guys, this is Shane and welcome to my Curator of the Lost channel. And today I want to talk about when it's smart or when you need to consider maybe investing in your book selling business, like some kind of capital expenditure to make things go better or to increase maybe your sales or your opportunity for sales. And it's kind of this concept of, it's are you being penny wise and pound foolish? It's kind of that you want to do things smartly. Maybe if you're first getting started, you don't really even have the capital to put in, and that's understandable. But at some point as you're going along, what makes sense to invest in your book selling business with some kind of capital expenditure or tool or do things like that? And that's what I've done with my Amazon foray. If you've watched any of my stuff for any period of time, you know that I've been basically 100% eBay. And in the last month, I've kind of started, I got approved for Amazon. I've got almost 100 books there now, sending things in and building that up. And this was a point for me where it made me think about this and, to kind of get that, some extra expenses, but the promise is to make even greater returns. So I'll give you my case example too. But hey, before we jump in, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the views, the channel supports, the likes, the comments, all that. Let's just keep it up, and we'll just keep on going, see what happens. So like what I'm talking about on Pennywise and Pound Foolish, a lot of times things that you need to buy or you need to invest in, it's basically boils down to what's the value of your time versus what you can spend. And this might be, do you go and dumpster dive for boxes, or, which is great if you can reuse them, or do you just buy mailers and buy boxes, right? So maybe buying the right size boxes versus going and sourcing big boxes and other things, or just random boxes. You might be saving yourself on time. Ultimately, you might be saving yourself on postage too, because you don't have as much packing material and things like that. But that's just an example, right? There are other things that go into your stores, like on eBay. You get a certain number of listings free. It's just a base subscription. But then when you get a store, you could be a base store, or I've done some videos on this, where I think the sweet spot is when it makes sense. You can do that math. But if you start getting a couple of hundred books, it starts to become, the math is such that you're better off getting a store. And it's a capital expense, something you've got to spend, but the return on investment can be much higher. So it's another example of when things can be that you need to make those expenditures, that investment in your book selling venture. If you're extremely successful and you start getting a lot of volume, that's when maybe is it worth your while do you need to get if people get sheds, or to go to a storage unit, or it could be simple things like, hey, if I buy a table or a roller for my packing paper, things that are going to make your overall selling life better, okay? The other side of that is what investments you can make to increase your sales. Is that, do you have a phone that you can list from, or do you need a desktop computer, or, something to take, a light kit to take better photos that are going to increase your sales? That's where you have to start making the decision for these capital expenditures. And hey, if you're first getting started, what I want to say here is none of that's required when you first get started. You can do this with very low capital, just by taking basically whatever funds you have. The first thing you need to do is put it into inventory, right? You need to get inventory and build that inventory, and that's what you need to concentrate on before you go on a buying spree to buy a bunch of stuff. But my particular example, what I ran into this week, and I decided I was being a little bit penny wise and pound foolish, was with my Amazon, okay? Several things. One, everything you read is, it's the buy box. I've read some things that say 80% of sales come through the buy box. There's definitely, if you can get the buy box on used books with fulfilled by Amazon, you can get a premium on your price, and that basically kind of pays for itself. But here's the thing I figured out. you can't do that with an individual seller account. On Amazon, if you have an individual account, you basically, every item you sell, in addition to the regular fees, they throw like a 99 cent, like a $1 fee on each item. If you get a professional account, that's like 40 bucks a month. So the break-even point is, are you selling 40 things a month? But if you don't have the professional account, then my understanding is that you're not going to be able to get that buy box. I could be off here, but that's what I see, okay? The other thing is, if you're trying to do any kind of scanning, and I wanted to try the ScoutIQ app that a lot of people, specifically the Mike, the used book guy, his link's down at the bottom. You know, he's a ScoutIQ guy, uses it awesome, right? So I wanted to try that. Well, with ScoutIQ, I had to have a professional account for that to work. It doesn't work with individual account. So my original plan was, hey, I'm gonna be individual account for a little while. I'll build some stuff up, I'll start getting some sales, and then I'll convert. Well, based on, you know, my understanding, even though I'm a new seller, I'm not eligible for the buy box until I get some. I'm not going to get it until I get some feedback or get some transaction history there, right? But the ScoutIQ, I thought, you know, maybe if I'm trying to scan some books, you know, I'm not a full-time scanner, but I'm kind of doing this hybrid approach. You know, I do my cherry picking, and then I've been going to these sections that I don't normally hit and scanning a few and kind of just learning. But using the Amazon app, it was pretty slow, and, you know, I don't know, it's kind of wonky. So I wanted to try ScoutIQ as well. So the investment for me would be, the Amazon professional account would be $40 a month, and ScoutIQ, if it's for an annual subscription, was like $10 a month. So I'm talking 50 bucks a month. And, you know, right now, until I get lots of stuff in and start building inventory and getting sales, that's probably going to be a negative on, you know, my Amazon here at first. But, you know, for me, it was worth, I felt like it was worth going ahead and doing that monthly investment and paying for those services. And I think that it'll pay dividends in the long run as I build it, you know. So I'm in a position with what I make on eBay and just where I'm at in life that I could afford that, you know, extra 50 bucks a month. You know, there's some of you guys out there that's a big deal. You know, you're getting into online reselling to make extra, and it's very difficult to come up with that other investment. And again, I reiterate, that's okay. You don't have to do that at the start, but it's a goal that you look toward, is how can you do these things to improve your business. And ultimately what you're looking to do is, it's, you know, it's the time, your time value, and, you know, that quality of life in the whole resale, but also to just ultimately, what's the bottom line? Or can I invest in these things and they return dividends? And you know, that $50 I invest, for me, because maybe I get buy box, and with my Fulfilled by Amazon, I can list books at a higher price. It could pay for itself with 1 or 2 books, easy, right? ScoutIQ, if I'm doing my hybrid approach, the things that I want to kind of sell on Amazon, if it picks out a couple of books a month that I wouldn't normally pick out, that it'll pay for itself, right? So, and like I said, I'm not a guy that just, I'm just not going to go scan every book on the shelf, but I'm developing this hybrid approach that seems to be working for me. I enjoy going in and just doing the cherry pick that we always do, and then I take a little bit of time, and it's instructive too. To the ScoutIQ, what's instructive so far is to, hey, scan the things that I've cherry picked and see what kind of e-score or seller rating they have, or what did I miss, you know, so it's helping train my eye even more. So anyway, those are investments that I'm making, and it's just something for you to think about. Don't be scared to, if you're successful investing in yourself and in your business in the right ways, the return on that investment is going to be huge, because you're in control, and you will benefit directly, but to your bottom line, you will benefit because you're the one that's making it work. So don't be scared to invest in yourself and your business in the right way. It'll pay off. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. It's something for you to think about. You guys remember, see cool, buy cool. Again, thanks for the subscriptions, the likes, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.